Hello, my name is Mordred Viking and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Hearts of Iron 4, where we are playing Kaiserreich as the Australasian Union. In the past, I did say that this game was effectively over. I didn't think it was going to be possible to win, and I've kind of gone back on my word. I had a bit of a look around. I saw the state of Germany, I saw the state of the Entente, and also the CSA. The CSA is actually a little bit healthier than I realised. They're still only on service by requirement, which is a 10% recruitable population. They have another 2-3 laws that they can go through, and they have a pretty healthy amount of manpower. These two are done. They're completely out of manpower. They're already on scraping the barrel. It's not looking good. And they have actually completely tapped it. Like, they're at their 25%. So it is only a matter of time now for the CSA. As their strength wanes, they're not going to get it back. The other thing that we want to keep an eye on is the UK. So at some point, I will force the Entente into a war with Germany, which I think will even the odds a little bit for the Third International, because that is something that should happen. It's just that they don't have a focus for it anymore because they removed that. So that is a thing that will happen. We just need to set a time for it. Now, I did say that it would be whenever Britain finished going down the British Reconstruction Authority path. But they've kind of been wasting time going down certain other paths. So actually what I could be really... what's Britain? No, it's Ing, isn't it? No, it's not Ing. What's their tag? GBR. Okay. Yeah, you're not doing that. Oh, you already started on the Reconstruction Authority. Okay. Well, you're going to do Return of the Aristocracy. And I'm going to force you down that path. Because as soon as you formed the UK, they're joining the war. Okay. You don't need to win-win if you occupy territory you want and keep repelling the invasions. A man that looks sustainable. I accept this Korean sort of peace as a conclusion. Well, I want this to kick off. Like, my victory conditions would be the return of the Commonwealth of France and the Union of Britain. Canada have actually done what they're supposed to and reformed the UK. It's just that there's no focus tree to actually bring the UK into a war against Germany, I don't think. And because the French didn't get Marseille, they don't have the focus to go to war against Germany either. And I really like the fact that Canada has actually taken the UK back. Like, that is not something you see very often in Kaiserreich single player. So I'm excited about this. What is the point of this Australasia game? What are your goals? I just joined. To be a socialist Australian. And we are actually the last stand for the Third International. We're all that remains. So at this point, the goal is to not die. And we are now at war with the Dutch East Indies. We're at war with German East Asia. So we have now got some stuff to do in this conflict. So we do have Marines preparing a naval invasion. We have our fleet somewhere. We actually have complete superiority over that area. We don't currently have a focus set. Interesting. What's my focus going to be? Rocketry, Women's Auxiliary. How are you supposed to do this? You can't get the Air Observer Corps unless you've got Naval Bomber focus. Oh no, one of the following. I have that. All owned states are currently also controlled. This focus will cancel with requirements not met. Oh, because I don't control New Zealand. Because it is technically still in the Entente. This is actually occupied, which is one of the reasons I've not been building industry over here. Oh no, it is a core. Alright, so what are you saying that I don't control? All owned states are currently also controlled. All owned states. Is this, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So I need to take Papua back. That can probably be arranged. In the meantime, let's get the Women's Auxiliary. And then... Actually, at that point, we've basically finished the focus tree. We can get the nuclear stuff. Well, that's done. And then at this point, we can then start doing some of these. Either, or probably naval production, frankly. What are we producing right now? Convoys and then advanced cruisers. Once we have some more convoys, because I wanted to keep over 100 now that we're actually doing naval invasions. Yeah, okay. Let's get the Women's Auxiliary. A full half of our population is better used in the war effort than sitting at home. Aircraft maintenance, the Signal Corps and other related tasks will be turned over to the women.
Alright, sir.
Meanwhile, the Marines are preparing for their naval invasion. Do we still have any capital ships? We do. You guys on naval invasion support? No, you're currently repairing. There are some enemy ships around, but actually not as many as I thought. Let's just cancel where you are now. Just make sure you're in those two. And we've almost got full oil supplies. Am I actually importing oil? I have a feeling I am. Yeah, we are. Quite a lot, actually. Well, let's drop all of our imports, because I probably don't need that much. And we're also... Haha! Oh. Right. Because the Netherlands is in the war now, Japan's kind of getting blockaded. In that case, I want to increase what I'm buying from the Pacific states, and I'm going to completely cut off purchases from Japan. And Abyssinia, because that's not getting through. May as well stop venting in that case. I'll just keep buying from the Pacific states. This is just going to be until I can actually start buying from... the CSA. Let's get some more rubber for the aircraft production. Automated decryption. Excellent. Onwards to the next. Let's get encryption. So one thing which I hadn't realised is encryption and decryption has a huge effect at sea. Your chance of detecting enemy ships, and then also I think your hit chance, depends on your encryption and decryption. And also, Like My Tea, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime resub. 6 months now. I know that one happened during the pre-stream intro, but thank you very, very much for that. Appreciate it. Am I going for overpowered submarine 3s and 4s? It's fairly cheap and very broken since you can even sink enemy capital ships. We do have some. It's not my primary focus, but we do have sub 4s. Although bear in mind this is Kaiserreich, so I think they actually go up to 5s. They're not modern. As soon as I remember how on earth to check that. It's in here, then here, then here. And yeah, modern subs are the 6s. But I don't have them equipped with snorkels. I have them equipped with radar instead, so they can actually detect more. Right, let's pour some tea. I feel like I'm going to need some, because this is going to be very much an uphill struggle. Which is good. I like a challenge. And you guys will need to remind me to check on the UK's focus tree every now and then, just to make sure that they're on the right path. And if they do it themselves, fantastic. Still sinking convoys with the submarines, that's good to see. Right, I think the German High Seas Fleet is around here somewhere. I think that's why my entire fleet was getting repaired. There are definitely a lot of repairs happening right now. We do have additional ships joining the attack fleet. And Esteban Lucic is getting ready for this naval invasion. Who are they? Sweden, Norway. Wait, that's a country? Yes, it is. Which does have a focus tree. Is this just the Swedish? No, I don't think this is the Swedish focus tree. I think this is actually Scandinavia. I don't know. I haven't actually played as Sweden, so I couldn't tell you. But I'm not seeing very many references to Sweden. Oh no, that's Gustav. Gustav is definitely the Swedish king. Swedish Red Scare. That's talking about Scandinavia. Nordic Council. Wait, so they went with the king and then forced him to abdicate. Is that what happened? Or did they force the previous king to abdicate and then bring in Gustav Adolf? I don't know. Will the multiplayer game be a historical game? So if you go over to the Discord, you will see all of the details for it in the multiplayer information tab. The idea is that there are set factions just to keep some kind of balance, so it's not completely open and freeform. But I think I've done a fairly good job balancing them. And there are still many nations available, so if you wish to join in, then please do sign up and just leave a message in the community multiplayer tab, so I know. And it will basically be done first come, first serve.
Alright, sir.
The only thing I ask is if you want to play as one of the major powers, make sure you're available for all 3 weeks. Could do another Mexican extraction campaign. Right, the other thing I wanted to do... Now, I don't know if I can do it from here. No, I can't. So one of the things that we found we weren't actually able to do was use Indian manpower. See, 0 of the 7,900, despite the fact that the Baratia commune has 486,000 manpower available. So the other thing we needed to work out is how on earth to get Baratian troops to actually fight for us. Because the other thing I can do is I can get the Baratian troops to fly my planes. So I can ground all of my air wings and then just switch them out for Baratian crewed air wings. Which is why I wanted to see if I could set them up from here. So then we're only using the Australasians themselves, because our manpower is limited for naval. Because I don't think you can crew ships with other manpower. So when you set up a new air wing, you can choose which nation they come from. Huzzah! Which does mean we're going to be losing a little bit of experience. So it goes. Right, who's left? Alright, so that's all of the Australasians done. Utopia Rocker, thank you very much for the Twitch subscription. Subscribe for 6 months. Thank you very, very much for your support. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cry havoc. Release the dogs of Mordred Viking. Woof woof. Alright, so we want to set up naval bombers. And they're going to be using Baratheon manpower? I'm actually wondering if I can find a way of using the Baratheon manpower for something else. Maybe I should use like Argentinian manpower for this. So one of you is going to go there. One of you there. And then we also wanted one here, which was also going to be Argentinian. Show the world. I will in a moment, as soon as I'm finding a way to move this air force. I need to wait until they've deployed properly. 90 and deployed. So I want some planes in the Timor Sea. In fact, I probably want some in the Java Sea as well. Whoops. Got to make them Argentinian. And that way I have eyes on most things. Then I think I also want to have an air force in here. Just flying out there. Did I just move you? No. Alright, so we don't have anyone in the Coral Sea, we don't have anyone in the Australasian Bight. But we do in these three, we do in Java, we do here, so it's basically just these two. And you can't get to the Australasian Bight without going through Tasman or the far eastern Indian Ocean. I did move you away from Java, didn't I? Didn't mean to do that. There we go. So now I have air coverage in all of those. I do want to have some longer range planes in the Far Eastern Indian Ocean. I've had really big problems over here. And it occurs to me that I actually have a bunch of tactical bombers. They're ancient. But I do have them, so I might as well use them. And their job is also going to be checking out the Far Eastern Indian Ocean. We could also set fighters up into each of those locations just to make sure we have air superiority. But my air capacity is a little bit limited. What I would much rather have are close air support. I'll go with the Mexican Air Force for close air support. Okay.
Where's next, sir?
Are you guys ready? You guys are ready, so we could launch this naval invasion. And also, yes, I was going to show the world. So this is the world at present. It is looking rather different from how the world usually looks at this stage of the game. Because the communists have basically died, so the Commune of France fell to the Germans. The Commune of Britain fell technically to the Irish, but it was Canada that seized control. Argentina was wiped out by the various South Americans. Mexico was wiped out by the Canadians. The American Civil War is still raging, though the CSA is on the cusp of winning. Kingdom of Spain won their civil war, despite the NTFAI being on the cusp of winning. They somehow pulled that one back and won it. India beat all of the other Indian miners. The Ottoman Empire actually controls half of the world. Everything over here, Siberia, Alashorda, all of the miners here, and then all of the Cairo Pact is Ottoman. So they're another significant faction, actually. Mongolia, I think, is a different one. Mongolia is part of Japan, and they are currently fighting against the Qing and the Reichspact, and this has been one bloody war without that much really changing. I feel the Ottomans could be an interesting game. The Ottomans are a lot of fun, actually. I do like the Ottomans. But aren't they currently in the process of being overhauled? I think they are. Yeah, the Ottomans start in a really weak position, but their events and focus tree, at least how it was pretty awesome. But the main thing we're waiting for right now is for the CSA to win. Speaking of which, are you actually capable of trade yet? No. Because you keep on blockading all of your coastline. You're just blocking your own coastline, and it is infuriating. Because there's no way that the AUS ships could be active up here, so why is that still blocked? Yeah. See? Blocked. Please stop blocking these. You don't need to do that. So now it's theoretically possible to trade with the with the CSA, and also more importantly, it would be theoretically possible to send them Lend-Lease. Although they are so dominant in terms of production, I don't think you'd need to. Anyway, I'm getting ready for this naval invasion. I think we are basically good to go. One other thing that we do need is a slightly bigger airbase here before we launch this attack. And the reason for that is because I want air superiority to be deployed here. Hey, Grumpy Tiger. Don't forget the Ottoman Sultan going out like a boss and resisting a coup from his bed with a gun made of gold. And the new Ottoman Sultan fighting the coup on horseback by charging into the palace. Just literally just does a mounted charge straight through the palace gates. Ah, gun upgrades. Excellent. And now suddenly I need steel again, which the CSA is again not going to export. I'll do for now. I really need the CSA to hurry up and win. I'm going to take, actually, I'm going to do this to make my Marines a bit better. How long are we going to need to wait until the air bases are done? Oh yeah, of course, I'm building more air bases around the entirety of Australasia so I can actually make sure I control the skies over the seas and resist invasion more easily. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to double check was how on earth to build more troops. I thought I had this down, but apparently this doesn't let you use their manpower. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to train one each of those and see if any of them actually get manpower. No. No. So it doesn't look like you can train new units. What if we did it as an Stationary. No.
All right, sir.
But then the only alternative is to go for the
All right, sir.
Baratia forces and upgrade them.
Where's next, sir?
Because right now your units are tiny. I could probably turn them into 40 combat width instead of 20. The only thing making me hesitate here is, one, I don't have the points to make them, and two, I don't know necessarily that 40 combat width fighting on islands is going to be a good idea. Probably isn't. So we just need to be super careful to make sure they don't get... Ooh, we just sank 2 dreadnoughts. Nice. Yay, submarines. We just need to be super careful that we don't get cut off and destroyed.
What are your orders, sir?
Right, how long till I get this airbase? That's what I need. And it's done. Okay. So let's go and add 100 fighter 2s. And these are going to be Argentinian. And your job is going to be air superiority. Now, can I start getting any more Argentinians extracted? Yes, I can. I probably also need to get some more Mexicans out. How long have I been streaming? Half an hour, Kalinas. Okay.
Where's next, sir?
We have air coverage. We probably need to wait until they actually arrive and secure air superiority. Because right now we don't have it. But we will very soon. No. Should turn green. Why are you not turning green? Probably because he can't reach very well, but they have no fighters here. German air power with 0 planes. That's impressive. How on earth are you establishing air superiority with no planes? Please, Germany, teach me this skill.
Where to, boss?
Alright, off we go. Naval invasion is a go.